Morning everybody, it's day 3 of our trip here in southwest Nova Scotia. So today we're going to head down to Yarmouth and to Cape Forchu. There's a lighthouse there and some other interesting stuff we're going to talk about. After that I think we're going to go down to downtown Yarmouth, and then from there we're going to continue to Cape Sable Island, which is the southwest tip of Nova Scotia, and on the way we might see something extraterrestrial. So let's go. And there, we made it. So we're here at Cape Forchu. Over here, that's a Cape Forchu Lighthouse. There's a nice trail here. It's called the Leif Erikson Trail, and the reason they call it that is back in the 1800s, a man found a stone that had runic symbols written on it. It's not known if it's authentic or not. I think that they've done a lot of research on it, and I think it's still kind of debatable if the man actually just faked it or not, but it's still interesting, and maybe there is a Viking connection to Yarmouth. They also, in the park, they're going to be talking about some of the geology, how old the rocks are, and we're going to go check that out. Also, you see I'm in shorts. You drive down this road towards Yarmouth, and about 5 minutes down that road it's actually sunny and maybe 9 degrees warmer. Welcome to the Leif Erikson Trail. Explore Yarmouth, possible Viking connection. And then this is us, and then the trail comes up here. And yeah, there's a different sign stations, so a little interpretive thing, tell you what you're looking at, points of interest. There's a lighthouse. I believe you can do tours where you can walk up the staircase to the top of the lighthouse. Today, you probably wouldn't see very much, but I think it's only something like 5 feet wide, and it's a spiral staircase that goes up. So it's very claustrophobic. So if you get up to the top and you can't make your way back down, they have to bring you back down in a stretcher, and it's going to be like this. And I can't imagine the guys who have to do that. That job would suck. Oh, this is neat. So there, it's just whale bones. So if you remember at Briar Island Lodge, we saw this by the entrance of the lodge, and that is the jawbone of the whale. Foggy the fin whale.
Aptly named.
Never heard of a fin whale. Finback whale. Yes, I guess fin whale is the short name. This scenic trail is named after the famous Norse explorer and son of Eric the Red, Leif Erikson, who may have visited these shores sometimes around 1000 AD. And then this is a stone that was found in the 1800s, and I believe that's now at the Yarmouth Museum. We found some more runic symbols, people putting hearts and their names. I see here people have been writing their names into the rocks here for a long time. You have 1959, 79, and over here, 1874. So it just shows you the Vikings just started that tradition. Everyone wants to be remembered. They all want to leave their little mark on history. So that's why, you sign your name in the places that you go visit. So here's a little explanation of what we see before us. And the fact that some of these rocks formed about 444 million years ago, 420 million years ago. This is a big tidal pool. So as the ocean comes in with the high tide, floods this, then it goes back out, leaves a little bit of water, and then you end up with different fish, crustaceans that get trapped in these pools. They live there until the next high tide, and then they can go back to the ocean. This one here is pretty deep, and I see they have some brick. So maybe that brick's from foundation of the old lighthouse that might have been out here. Hard to say, but I mean, it had to come from somewhere. Yeah, it's deep too in spots. So over here, this is how the ocean water's getting in. Maybe over here at the high tide. I see that there's a lobster trap someone put there. Be surprised if that came with the tide. Maybe a hurricane got it over one of these walls, but I doubt it. Probably someone just threw it in there. Oh, already cut myself. Good thing I had a tetanus shot. There. Now that's close enough. Maybe one of the park staff will come and they'll take that out of here instead of it being in there polluting. There, while I let my feet dry off, I'll tell you a little bit about this trap. So you see it's got bricks in the bottom, and that's to weigh down the trap. So as you drop it into the water, it's not going to land on its side. It's going to land bottom first. These here, this is so you flip those up and you can replace your bait bags, which there's no bait bags left in here, and you can grab out your lobsters as well. So the way it works is the lobster, they go into here, they fall down into this first stage of the trap, and then it looks like this has 2 ports, so lands in here, and then it can go through this way, drops down into this second tray, same over here, goes this way, drops down. So they'd have baits in here and in here to attract the lobsters to those sections. Then when you have a smaller lobster, this opening is a little bit smaller. The small lobsters are actually able to escape, and the bigger ones that you're allowed to keep are stuck in here. So that just lets out crabs or lobsters, things that you don't want to be in the trap to escape. So this is where we are right now at this end of the Cape. And we drove all the way back. Out here, it's sunny and hot, and down here, it's foggy, which we're used to. We're from St. John. And then over here, it talks about the different services that they used to have, and how there used to be a ferry between Yarmouth to even St. John, New Brunswick, and all these other places, Boston. It's only, I think, something like 400 kilometers from here to Boston. So not far at all. I mean, compared to if you try to drive that, it's way further. So that's a neat idea of how to recycle old lobster traps. I just made them into these chairs. There, so that's what I was talking about on the other fishing trap. They'd have something like this. And that's a tray that just allows the crabs and smaller lobsters to get out. The town of Yarmouth, the town motto says, Yarmouth, gateway to everywhere. And if you see over here, I guess it's kind of true. They're here, they're on the very tip of Nova Scotia, and from here, you know, those ships can go anywhere on Earth. But they have these cool signs saying how far things are away. You know, some signs look like they're older than others. Athens, Ontario. Toronto. I'll have to come back here someday and put a St. John sign on there, then we'll know, you know, or even if we had Boston, it could have told us how far it was. Bunch of wild roses along the trail. Get these everywhere. They act like weeds on the bank. They smell nice. This is a really nice park. I like this trail, and I seen a sign, they say they have free Wi-Fi. So, you know, if you're really hard up and you want to, I don't know, walk around here and, you know, video chat with somebody, you could. So just as we were about to leave, I was flying my drone, getting those last shots, and it's now beautiful. There's no fog at all right here. It's all further out to sea. So perfect time to come up here and take a look at the lighthouse. So here's the lightkeeper's house. And then this is the stairway to go up. Obviously it's locked. They do tours though. But yeah, look how narrow those steps are. And again, if you get up, you can't come down and you have a medical emergency. They have to bring you down in a stretcher in a position like this. Yeah, see all the way up to the top. To show you how skinny the lighthouse is, so that's like 6 feet. So the entrance in here is only about maybe 5 feet wide. We're here, they call that the false harbor because there's so many shipwrecks. Because if you're coming up from this side, from the Bay of Fundy, you think that's the way into Yarmouth, and it's not, and they just get shipwrecked. Instead of going along this and then into where Yarmouth actually is on this side. There's another foghorn, which they didn't use today, you know, even though it was foggy. And then you see how high up the lighthouse is. Yeah, it's really cool. It's got a unique shape compared to other lighthouses that we've seen, even on this trip.
It's called the apple core shape.
Apple core shape. It is. That makes sense. That's a good name. So now we're gonna head out. We're going to our next spot. So I think we're going to downtown Yarmouth.